Just say that again, a deeper awareness of your actions.
Of my actions and choices, and yeah, really thinking about the choices that I'm making.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Bonnie. What about Leilani?
Yeah, I think the sort of, I was actually just looking back through the notes, like, you know, some of the insights you give, like, I've got like, you know, we're the gatekeepers of our mind, and, you know, I've just written some things down, and it, yeah, because I think like there's been some things for me this year, like with responsibility and, you know, creating what I want in my life, and I think you're sort of just, you've been continuing on with that theme, and yeah, and just the giving me some deeper insight into it.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Tony. And yet it's a big one to know that we're the gatekeeper of our mind. It didn't come with an instruction. We actually knew how to control or be aware of the super mind, and then we forget, and then we think it's crazy for the rest of our life, but we're actually perfect, just different stages of remembering. Let's go to Linda.
Hello, everybody. What I've been noticing recently is trying to get more into the observer consciousness. Even in Facebook, there's been a few memes there and posts of things of, you know, third and fourth dimensions, and the importance of just watching your emotions. So, you know, rising above it. What I've mainly hit home is that I don't have to try hard. Things will come when they come, and I will be ready. And there's no rush or urgency. It's sort of unfolding, and just be willing to participate, you know, and that's to the best of my ability to be of service. That's what I've sort of come to.
That's beautiful.
Over the last few weeks.
That's so module 3. Thank you, thank you. Beautiful. And it is observing, being in touch with the emotions, but observing, and especially there's a lot of stuff happening. You know, COVID suddenly finished, and now it's all about segregation, which we've been through. There's a history of that, whether it's segregation of the Jewish or the Black community or Indigenous or whatever. We're repeating patterns, which is module 3 as well. But yeah, it's just observe. Where am I up to? How am I feeling? So beautiful, absolutely beautiful, Linda. Let's go to Mandy.
Hello?
Hello, Mandy.
I was on the other side of the room. I was like, shit. What was the question? Oh, this week. Yes, what's happening? Okay, breathe.
No.
It's been very
hang on. Just take a breath. It's just the reflections of the VIP webinars, because a lot's been happening for everybody with the energies and everything, but just more of like all of the things that you're experiencing, learning, being aware of, waking to with the VIP stuff.
Well, I'm doing quite a few courses and stuff with you at the moment, and they're all sort of meshing together. So I'm having a bit of trouble going that this is because of this training, and then this is because of this training. Like it's all sort of happening. Like yeah, it's all meshing. It's all my brain is gone. But I did have a thought this week where I thought I feel really grateful that I've got this opportunity to hear or think of things in a completely different way. I mean, I know there's some people that go their whole lives and never have the experiences, I suppose, or hear this sort of thing.
Yes.
So I feel really grateful for the opportunity to sort of look at patterns and look at, yeah, just everything. So yeah, that's what's been happening for me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, darling. Natalie.
Thank you.
Hello. I'm kind of similar to Mandy in that I'm not sure where one starts and the other one stops with them, but definitely with some notes that I wrote out of definitely out of last week's one and it's kept with me, and actually I found myself having a conversation with someone about it. And it was about the experience is knowledge and the rest is just information. And that, like, the drill down to the journey is the journey of enjoying the journey, not the outcome.
Yeah.
Because it's just like everybody's so focused on this big goal that's to be achieved, that along the way they just get lost and maybe put off, lose sight, lose track. And I guess I sort of reflected, and I'm like, I can recognize where I did that in the past, and I didn't say it out directly outward, but I'm like, well, what about this?
Yes.
And yeah, and it got a few like, and I'm like, if all there is then it's got them thinking.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And it is very much, especially Mandy and Nat saying it's sort of all just blending. That's in your Module 3 book, where it says, if we understood, which is very prevalent to the COVID, the fires, the droughts, what's happening at the moment, the racial tension, if we understood that we're all a blending of everything. So it's all, and that's why I call it the quantum soup. If we understood in the soup, you're a piece of carrot, I'm a piece of zucchini, Bonnie's a piece of onion, Katrina's a piece of celery, etc., etc. We're all blended together. And that was the ancient wisdom of Atlantis. We understood that we're all blended together. In Atlantis, we did have a downfall, the illusion of ego, where we took like a piece of our DNA and put it into a pot to make a new form. But we didn't need to do that, because we're actually a blending of everything all the time. So thank you so much. Let's go to Rochelle.
Evening, everyone. The past week or so, I've just been really conscious of where my energy is going, and when need be, I just keep saying to myself, like, what I focus on, I get. So just bringing back to affirmations. Also, like, having the no need to respond and not being reactive.
Yes.
Keeping things simple and knowing that I can choose my path. And if I'm not happy with that, I can always change direction.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Samantha.
Hey, Jean. It's I think with all that's going on, there's a lot of stuff, like bringing up a lot of stuff as I'm trying to change patterns, and thinking about the gatekeeper of my mind, or being the gatekeeper of my mind. I'm actually really annoyed, and I'm annoyed with myself because I've allowed myself to slip back, though I do have the awareness that I slip back, but then I come back.
Yes.
So it's like a fall down, get up, fall down, get up, and so I'm. The more I play that, I understand it's not bad. It's just quick. Let's get back up again. So yeah, actually, I've had a bit of anger over that this week.
Awesome, awesome. I still love anger. It's so lovely. Back to Module 1, liver, Module 2, the root chakra, and I talk about the awakened and the unawakened colors of the chakras. So the unawakened, the red, anger, but the awakened color of maroon, the passion. And without us getting angry, aware and angry, disappointed, frustrated, whatever the emotions are, the unawakened emotions, we don't have a wake-up call. And how many wake-up calls do we have? Just a couple, zillion, trillion, billion, willion type thing. And then it comes back to what Nat's saying of experience is the knowledge. The rest is just information. It's when we experience life, we go, Yeah, and then we become in love with ourselves. So thank you so much. That's beautiful, Sam. Let's go to Melissa.
Hi everyone. Yes, I've had lots of thoughts about being the gatekeeper of my mind and just reviewing like the mismatch between what I think and what I've wanted. So that like what I've wanted hasn't manifested, but like now I can see it's because of what I was thinking. And then I've had a lot of thoughts around the man's wealth is not secure unless he helps others to build wealth. I'm relating that to men and male clients and my inner masculine and the pyramid selling type of thing in Mod 3 book. And just seeing how and like or why things, or relating that to the why I want to do my business, as well as back to perception of me and men. Yeah, and trying to get back to the or seeing patterns in that, and trying to get back to the original blueprint, and also just observing my thinking going up and down through the dimensions, and being able to notice when I'm in 3D limiting thinking and then flip it pretty quickly up to 4th dimension stuff. Yeah, so it's been good. Thank you.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Excuse me, that saying a man's wealth is saying if I don't offer me, now whether it be back to module 2 of a smile, then I can't enrich anybody else's life. And for those of you that are in business, want to be in business, thinking about business, wanting to leave business, whatever the concept is, really we're here of service to be that quantum soup, that oneness, and go, well, can I help you up? So then we create it unconsciously. We create it. This is about consciously creation. Unconsciously, we create it, such as fires. Fires go back to module 2, our large bowel and the heart. They burn off the dross. They burn off the old. And the way the fires were last year was it was all around Australia. It was like a whole border burning off the old dross, which was quite fascinating. Or the COVID, same thing. And yet we forget the Twin Towers, the soccer boys that were stuck in the Thailand tunnel, cave, that all of that is the offering hand to become that oneness. And then we go back into being unconscious and bum along. And I'm not talking just us, I'm talking the world. And so when I was having the awakening process, I understood, oh my God, we're all one. Why isn't that taught? Why do we have segregation? What about the churches? Like when I went to church, it was traditional Greek Orthodox. I only knew Greek. I didn't know traditional Greek Orthodox. But I'd see the segregation. Men here, women there. When I lived in Kuwait, women over there, fully dressed in the burqa, blah, blah, blah. Why is this segregation? Why aren't we just reaching a hand to everybody saying, yeah, we're all one? And in every disaster, whatever it be, even right down to what's happening with that gentleman that died in the USA, there's like a oneness happening where people are saying, hey, I agree. Now, whatever they agree on, but there's a oneness happening. So we're trying the whole time to experience a man's wealth. And the wealth is reach out, open our hearts. So thank you so much. Let's go to beautiful Katrina.
Hi, all lovely ladies, and of course, Triple G. I'm the same as Linda. I have been observing, and I've been observing, and I'm actually hearing conversations differently. So I find that really fascinating. yeah, so I don't know whether I was caught up in an illusion before of what conversations were going, but I'm actually really aware of conversations, and they're not going into that drama bust pain space of it, but actually seeing it for what it is, observing the other side, seeing it on some kind of reality, and being able to process it in a different way. So that's really, really cool. And I think part of that is after the session on mod 3, where I had the session with Eugene in front of everyone, it was free to be me. That seems to be a little more prevalent. Bless you. I seem to be a little more able to be who I am in a way. I wanted to just relate, because my husband is under a huge amount of pressure, and sometimes when you say the stories about your lovely Tony, I can see a resemblance in my own wonderful husband. So I've been doing the gold strands on him, and he keeps saying, oh, I need to go and lie down. I need to go to sleep. So I have offered a few times, and every now and then he just rejects it, but that's okay. Gatekeeper of my mind, I am really become aware of what I say to myself, and I have and it is mod 3, but the same as what Maddie said, it's also a combination with doing the mod 4, mod 7, and I'm really, 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 really aware, and it's very freeing to actually be that aware, because when you're that aware, then you can actually change it really quickly. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Thank you very much for listening, everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to all of you. So, excuse me, part of this and the awakening was going into that concept of consciousness, which if you've ever studied, learned, or had Ayurvedic medicine or gone to a practitioner or whatever, they talk about consciousness. Yoga does. Or if you go to India, there's this thing of consciousness. And I know when I've taught Module 7 in the past as medical intuitive teacher, which I no longer teach anymore, people would always snore during consciousness, which is observing. And part of this was just to observe, just watch. So I make it in everyday language and say, are we on the drama bus? What's actually going on? Have a look. What is it I need to do? Is it I need to do, or is it I need to be? Oh, what if I feel? What if I stand beside myself? And so that's what used to happen when I was a little girl. I remember splitting from myself. And the splitting was like, and some of you would have experienced this. Excuse me, where you sit there and you've got your eyes closed and it feels like you're leaning so far to the right. When you wake up, you think, oh, I'm not. I'm sitting straight in the chair. What the? That's consciousness, but the split of ego. That's what I describe in the Millennium Grid, the age disconnections, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So that's why experience is knowledge. The rest is just information. We need to experience the split or ego, the difference, the isolation, separation, to come back into observing and going, When people talk about near-death experiences, same thing, split. Do they need to go away to observe and go, and then come back in, and that's how they change their life? Experience is knowledge. And the experience is to be able to go, yeah, I relate to that. I relate to that. But part of the new awakening is to experience the love in everything. So if I look at what's happening in the world at the moment, it's very controversial. I have an opinion on it on a human level, but I also see the bigger picture. I see that people are hurting. They feel isolated. They want to be heard. Yet in their actions, their experience, they're not using their knowledge. They're pushing people more away by looting, being violent. Whereas if we understood, if we wanted to come together, there's another way. This is the patterns. Indigenous? Who's actually Indigenous? We say it's a particular race, but what if we're all Indigenous of some way or some colour or some race or some alien or whatever? What if part of our Indigenous part was our original cell at the top of our head, our DNA? The Indigenous part of us is the love. Experience is knowledge. The rest is just information. If we understood all of this, we would actually celebrate it. Take time off to be aware, to connect to it. And I heard this saying, a family altar alters the family. And I thought, what does that mean? I don't understand what I mean. Do I have to set up an altar? Do I have to have, a big Greek cross and then the Jesus with the flame in his chest at the thymus? And I never understood all of that when I was a little girl. I'd go to the church and I'd see all these dudes and things floating around. I didn't know what the priest was saying. All I knew was there was lots of food to eat. And then I went to my Australian grandmother's church, the Presbyterian, and it was all prim and proper, and I don't know what they were doing, but I loved the toning, which was singing. And then I go to the Catholic church because my husband wants to go get married from the Catholic church and christen the boys under Catholic. And I think, I don't understand any of this either. Do I have to do all that? A family altar. I was like, what if I created a space in my mind, but I created it outside. So every time I saw it, like an affirmation or a post-it note or a vision board or a bunch of flowers or a necklace that you buy to celebrate, if I create an altar in my mind, I'll alter my mind. Because really the family is me. A family altar alters a family. Sometimes on the human level, we need to be that third dimension where we have our place, such as a church, which is just a building, a gravesite, just a building, to go, oh, stop, remember, take a moment to go within. That family altar was really, I needed to come back to myself as a family. Take a moment, observe, and then that alters my whole beingness, which then alters my body, my actions. But then there was also the concept of family altar alters the family. And the boys were little and I decided to create something with them. So we used to make up a game, and those who've done the Millennium Children, you've heard this. When we'd have a meal, and especially at dinner time, we would do our gratefuls. And who did we help? What that did was alter the family. It took us to a space in our heart. So sometimes the children didn't understand what grateful meant. So I'd say, well, what made you feel loved today? I felt really loved when Lucky Dog, which is our previous dog, when she came up and she did this and that. And then who did you help? I helped set the table. So what we created was an altar at the family table, which altered everything back into the love space. And as the kids got older, it was always, what are you grateful for and who did you help? It allowed us to be centered. That was the whole idea of a prayer when people used to do prayers for the meal, like an affirmation. Stop, have a look at what you've got. You've got food. You're all together. What a celebration. That allowed people to connect. That allowed us to connect in that quantum soup. But we forget when we leave that table. We go on another journey. And on that journey, we forget that it's all about creating value. This is part of my mission statement for my business. How do I create value for other people? It's not about just giving presents or like this VIP session, or you're allowed to attend another module 3 online because this went on physically because this went online. The value is for people to be able to see themselves and their brilliance and that they are loved. Now, whether it be that I've taken people abseiling, skydiving, dancing, bushwalks, picnics, going to Mountain Biwa, meditations, whatever it be. If I created value for somebody else, would we have the violence that we have now? If I created value for me, would I feel be lost, disappointed, confused, going to is it the right thing, the wrong thing, limbic brain, angry, defeated, failure, loser? How do I create value for me? Family alters the family. In Millennium Calendar, I talk about celebration. Set your goal, 3 actions, and what's your celebration? Who are you going to tell? And if I create that value, knowing that I've got something to offer, even if it's just a smile from module 2, that's whopping huge. What about just saying to somebody, not just on the one day, are you okay, but every day? How do I create value for other people? I also awakened to creating value for other people was actually to say something. And I did that this morning. At 7 a.m., I had a networking group, which we did online, just like this. It's a referral business club. And I didn't like that I wasn't followed up. Within the club, I try to use the resources and the services there. I didn't feel valued. I'm looking at getting a new website. There's someone that does websites. That's thousands of dollars. He never got back to me. That was January. Then I looked at getting the bathroom renovated. He never got back to me for a quote. Then I looked at somebody else to clean my air conditioner. They never got back to me. How do I create value for others? In the Facebook group that we have for this networking group, I actually said, it's with great disappointment. We call ourselves a referral club, but I can't refer on because I've had 3 people not create value for me. They've not got back to me, and yet I've chased them, which shouldn't be the way. How did I create value for them? That's a wake-up call. Maybe they need to wake up. Stop focusing on themselves. Understand that we're here of service. That led into me understanding how I want to create my business. At the age of 19, I left nursing and I did open up a business. I opened a business in everything I love: coffee, chocolate, and cigarettes. It wasn't cigarettes, but it was coffee and chocolate shop. And you would come in for a coffee and chocolate, and it was imported chocolate, which now you can find at Coles and Woolworths. Ferrero Rocher, Lindt chocolate, Boucher, all the things that you never used to be able to get. And I would grind the coffee beans. The smell and the aroma was divine. And there was only simple coffees: black with milk, cappuccino, or a short black, which was like an espresso. And then I wanted to create value. So I'd put a little chocky beside it, or I'd give them a little muffin. I would remember the 5 ladies that would come in Monday and Wednesday morning. I would know their names. I don't remember them now. But I knew that Gertrude had carrot cake with a cappuccino. Henrietta would have a short black, but she didn't like cake, and don't ask her. That led to the next part. The next part, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Again, somebody else had said this. And I went, what? What does that mean? Well, if I remember of service and if I'm everybody, how do I want to be treated? Oh my gosh. This then led into the testament in the Bible. It's taught, and yet nobody knows it. Treat your neighbor just like you want to be treated. Okay. So if I fail to plan, then I plan to fail. I want to use my liver, planning, processing. I want to feel empowered liver. I want to be able to make sure that I create value for myself and for other people. I want to make sure that the carrot cake is there for Gertrude. I want to make sure that the wait staff that I hired don't go and ask Henrietta what cake she wants because she doesn't like it. What if I put myself in their shoes? If you fail to plan to recognize ourselves, to celebrate, to take time off, to book a holiday. And all of these align with the Millennium Calendar on the Millennium Grid. What was the next step? Well, as I reflected back, because I was about to open the business doing this, I reflected back to when I had the coffee shop. It was hugely successful. I had no idea how to run a business. I was nursing, left it, went, oh, I like coffee and chocolate. Oh, I'll do this. I understood business as a powerful tool for change. You see, it was a business coffee shop before I took over. And because at the time it was chocolate brown, it was dirty, the lady that owned it didn't really care. When I signed to buy it and take over the lease, I was with the lady for one day. She was meant to be with me for a month. Here's a naive 19-year-old. The next day she didn't turn up. And I went, where is she? I had to close the shop down because I'd been given a key. She was meant to help me hand over. I closed the shop down because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't have a float. I didn't even know what a float was. Where do I get the cakes from? Oh my God, this place is disgusting. So within 48 hours, I put butcher paper on the front window, painted all the walls, sewed all the tablecloths, changed it to the beautiful 80s colours of dusty pink and grey because they were the fashion. I painted a whiteboard, blackboard thing. I found cakes that I could purchase. I employed new staff because I understood that I'm in business and I can make a change instead of it being miserable. And so I needed to express my truth. And my truth was coffee and chocolate for me, and back in those days you could smoke, was a place of getting together. Back to my culture, all around food is a place of harmony, warmth, deliciousness, getting together. And I wanted that. I wanted to bring the love. So when people walked in, they felt the energy. They felt the love. Not only that the place was now clean and freshened up, I was very basic in my food. There was a wall of coffee and a wall of chocolates that people could choose, and they could choose to eat it there and then, have it there and then. And then I had open sandwiches. What's an open sandwich? A piece of rye bread on the side, grated carrot, some egg. It was just like a big plate of salad, and they could make a sandwich. No hamburger, no chips, no junk food. That was expressing my truth. That's how I like to eat. And when I expressed me and I knew that I could make a change for me and others, I knew that I couldn't fail. The business skyrocketed, profited hugely. Sometimes our business, though, is not just the external business, it's our business of life. Living your life is a powerful tool for change. Expressing you the way you want to be, long hair, short hair. Why, in fact, I'm doing it right now. I've gone from my natural color of brunette to blonde. That is my truth now. See, behind the blonde is a whole heap of grays. When you express you, you know that you can't fail in life or in business or in anything. Just take a moment. Think about how you create value for you. How you create value for your family. How you create value for friends. A stranger. For your pets. Imagine the whole world waking up first thing in the morning going, how am I going to create value? And that became a ritual, not a routine for me. I still today, and those that have done Money Magnet know this, I wake up in the morning, how can I create value for my husband, my children, my dog, my other baby, the business, you? If we woke up every morning doing that, rather than looking at, oh my God, it's COVID. Oh my God, I can't get on holidays. Oh my God, I can't go to the pub. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that we're actually in sales. You see, sales is about moving the hearts and minds of other people. And that was a realization I had as I restarted the business. When I had the coffee and chocolate shop, I understood I was moving their hearts and minds. They felt valued. Those beautiful ladies that came in on a Monday and a Wednesday. It moved their heart, it moved their minds. And what if we woke up every morning saying, how do I create value? And that I'm in sales all the time to help people come back to their heart. Not everyone's going to take it. Like not everyone liked my imported chocolates. Back then, they thought I was weird. What happened to the good old Cadbury's? What the hell is this Lindt chocolate? Sales is about moving the hearts and minds of other people. Which linked to the secret to living a rich life is gratitude. And the richest life is in our heart space. Gratitude is the art of loving. It always has been, it always will be. Quite often people will say, I'm grateful, or do their gratefuls on Facebook or that sort of thing. But really, do they understand the real richness, the real secret? Do they understand that the art of loving is to see the love everywhere? Even in the bad times. even in the past. And it's only a secret because people forget. But I'm saying to you right now, so it's not a secret. As I bumbled through with the awakening process, and I started to find life, retrain my brain, knowing I'm the doorkeeper to my brain, I had to now work out what was happiness, not based around my upbringing, my culture, my bad things, good things, my marriage, his family. I needed to understand what is happiness? What is success? I need to define it now. So I have a blank slate in my head. I need to rewrite this. What makes it for me? And then I got like a thud on my head, and I was like, you will ever evolve. What you think is happiness and success will change over time. What? What does that mean? And that's when I really got the clear understanding of the Millennium Grid. That there's a cycle of life every 13 years, hours, minutes, decades, seconds, milliseconds. That we will evolve. 1 to 13, learning in the feminine. 14 to 26, living in the masculine. 27 to 39, the integration. 40 to 52, awareness of self. 53 to 65, awareness of others. 66 to 78, absolute love. 79 to 91, wisdom. 92 to plus, truth. So the key to happiness is having a dream. The key to success is making it come true. I thought, oh, how do I apply this in my business now? Old stories started to come back. What the hell are they going to think of me? They're going to think I'm a fruit loop. How I don't have a business skills. My monkey mind was right next to me. It was almost like the monkey was on my shoulder, just going, ha, they're going to laugh at you. Stop, stop. The key to happiness is having a dream. And if I looked at the children, when they had a dream, and I don't mean just a sleep dream, but when they were playing the imagination, playing a game, they were so happy. They were dreaming big. I remember my son at the time, the Harry Potter books came out, and he read that big first book in like a night. He was so happy with the dream. That dream that he was going to Hogwarts when he turned 11. The key to success was making it come true. For him, that was going to be his success. And he said, Mummy, I can't wait till I turn 11 because I get to go to Hogwarts and I get to do all of these things. Unconsciously, I said to him, oh, Jamie, Dylan, no, that's just in the book, Dylan. There is no Hogwarts. He suddenly felt like a loser. He thought it couldn't come true. Until I said, but you can have Hogwarts right here. You don't have to have it over there. What do you like about Hogwarts? Sometimes we forget to do that. Have the dream right here. And then what we do as adults is we say, oh, well, it will never come true, so there's no point in even talking about it or imagining it. I've had so many clients do that. Or when I've been on a plane at the airport. Just the other day when I was at the supermarket, there was a beautiful little girl, maybe about 6 or 7 years old, saying, Mummy, when I grow up, I'm going to be blah, 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 blah. Mum? Oh, no, that'll never come true. I used to dream like you. Never comes true. Part of the awakening is to remember the key to happiness is having that dream. The key to success is making it come true. And it doesn't mean that you suddenly have to become the millionaire if that's your dream. It's be the millionaire within. Because it's faith. Faith is held in the crown chakra. Being sure of what you hope for and certain of what you do not see. That is the meaning of faith. Yet we have faith in everybody else but us. Being sure of what I hope for. Well, we've played this game. Do you remember playing the Santa Claus? You knew Santa was going to come. Or even now. You were sure of what you hoped for, that it wasn't going to work. And certain of what you did not see, you're sure it wasn't going to work. So we still play the game, but not like in the awakened state. Faith, being sure of what you hope for and certain of what you do not see. This was the fifth dimension. Not the third dimension led by the five senses or the limbic brain led by the five senses. It was like tapping into everything, which is the crown chakra. Being of service, tapping into all wisdom. That's what I understood. And I had that crazy headache. It was like, be sure of what you hope for. And still today, I use the faith. Not so much faith external, God or Jesus, Allah, tissue box, pen, post-it notes. It's the faith in me. I'm so sure of what I hope for, and I'm so certain of what I don't see, because I know anything is possible. I know that if I can dream, I can be happy, and then I can be successful by being in that dream. So I'm going to get you to take a breath and breathe all the way out. And take another big breath. And breathe all the way out. Faith, being sure of what I hope for and certain of what I do not see. So just on that note, if anyone would like to share an insight, an epiphany, a realization, love you to do so. I'll just go through the names again so that people aren't talking over each other. If you don't want to share, that's fine. Just say pass. So what's the thing that you got from tonight? Remembering this is all related to ego, separation, module 3. As we start to move into module 4, not this weekend, but the following weekend. Bonnie, what about you?
You know, I've been through these cards and flicked through them a lot of times, and I've actually gone and written them all down tonight, and there's a couple that really sort of jump out at me, and I suppose the one that really does is about business being a powerful tool for change, express your truth, and you cannot fail in business.
Yes.
And yeah, that's a power hit for me tonight. So
Beautiful.
Yeah, thanks, Jean.
Pleasure. Thank you, Bonnie. Katrina.
Fail. I'm the same as Bonnie. I wrote them all down, even though I've been looking through. And again, it was the same one for me. When I make a change, business is a powerful tool for change. But the other one that really resonated with me was sales is about moving the hearts and minds of other people. And I always thought I was a terrible seller, because I have had business before and I felt like that was where I failed. But in actual fact, that's where I succeeded, because that was my main motivation. So that was really, that really changed my thought process on sales. And looking at it that way makes me feel like I can succeed, whereas I thought that I would not succeed in sales. So yeah, thank you very much. It was amazing. I loved it.
Beautiful. It is a crazy concept. If you all said to me, Jen, go and sell your business, I'd go, nah, not doing it. But if you said go market it, and sales is about moving hearts and minds of other people, I'm in. But I don't want to sell you things, because I believe that people will actually take what they need. So beautiful. Leilani, what about you?
The one that jumped out at me the most is, how do I create value for other people? So, you know, not just from a business point of view of how can I create value for clients, and but you know, for my family and friends. And yeah, I thought that's you can start your day, how can I create value for other people, and end your day, what am I grateful for today? So
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. And I still think, imagine the whole world waking up going, just as you're just coming out of that sleep and you need to empty your bladder, even though it's freezing cold, you think, oh, I got to get up. Instead of just, I got to get up and it's cold, it's like, oh, my bladder's full. How can I create value for other people? Oh my gosh. Wow. So thank you, Leilani. Linda.
What was the question, Jane?
That's all right. What golden nugget have you got from tonight?
From tonight, just letting me know that I'm not the doer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Talon. Let's go to Mandy.
I'm going to pass. Thank you, Jean.
Thank you. Melissa.
I think your comment that being Indigenous is having the love is a little golden nugget for me. Thank you.
Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Natalie.
Mine wasn't really any one in particular. I think it's just kind of come across the sort of across all of them as what's kind of popped out is like, it's just, there's like the faith of the ownership and the responsibility in ourselves, creating our own realities and happiness. And then from there, basically in being true to ourselves, we're therefore giving value to others so they can then do the same for them.
Bingo.
Themselves.
Bingo. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Rochelle.
Hi, yeah, my one was wasn't actually one, but a few of them. So the ones that sort of stuck out to me was expressing your truth, and the business is a powerful tool for change, and how am I creating value for others, and going to myself and how I want to feel.
Yes.
If others were creating value for me, you know, so putting myself in from looking from there and how I can create value for others, but I can do that by expressing my truth.
Beautiful. Thank you. Samantha.
Jean, mine was the same as Rochelle's. It was creating the value for myself before I create for others. That was a big one for me.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Ladies, thank you so much. We only have 2 more of these VIP things. As we start to wind down, June is a time of commencing to finish off. A lot of you are doing a lot at the moment with me or other programs. Just allow yourself just to absorb, not be involved with anything. Just take great comfort in nurturing yourselves, mentally especially. Pop things aside. You just go, listen, I don't need to listen to this again. I'm just going to observe. I don't want to take notes. That's fine. As we roll into module 4, not this weekend, but the following one, stories may start to come up or surface because module 4 is about the forgiveness and guilt. So allow whatever to come up, just see, observe, like Linda said, just tap and breathe. Tap and breathe. Please make sure that you get your crystal grids in for module 4 by tomorrow, 4 o'clock in Facebook Messenger, so that we can, the team can have them ready, printed and gridded ready for you. That will be awesome, please. And just allow yourself to journey within as it's getting colder as well. Take one step at a time as these onion skins just start to slip away. Thank you so much for this evening. I really appreciate you being on this and taking the journey.